go ahead and get started. Again, welcome everyone. This is Slow Flow. We're going to go ahead and begin on our mat in a child's pose this morning, and we're going to take it to a wide-legged child's pose. So we're going to bring the knees out to the outer edges of our mat. Press our hands into the mat. If you do have that block, place it on the right hand top side of your mat, off of the mat. And then looking at your fingertips, just press the fingertips firmly into the mat. This protects the wrists whenever we're in a tabletop or we're in a down dog position. So we're going to take the toes, touch the toes together, sink the hips back, walk the hands forward. Try to get the chest as low down to the mat as possible. Elbows touch the mat as well. Let's begin to center here. Let's begin to connect our breath. In yoga, we use our ujjayi breath, breathing in from the belly. Taking that breath up through the chest, the collarbone region, into the back of the throat. And then exhaling through the nose, fully emptying the lungs. We're going to continue that until we achieve our ujjayi breath, breathing in through the belly and exhaling all that air out. Breathing in through the nose. Exhaling fully through the nose. Maybe this exhale's longer than the inhale. Just a little tip, if you're not hearing your breath in the back of your throat, breathe in through the nose as though you were surprised to see somebody. Fully exhale through the nose as though you're fogging up a little hand mirror with your nostrils. You should begin to hear what sounds like the ocean in the back of your throat. Good. As you're working on your breath, think of an intention for today's practice. We set intentions to keep our minds from wandering, to fully enjoy this hour of practice. An intention could be something as simple as one single word, a positive word: joy, love, friendship. Perhaps it's a goal. Maybe a personal goal, a physical goal, or maybe you dedicate the energy that you create in today's practice to somebody you love. Let's stay here for 2 more breaths. Good. Next breath, we're going to warm up the body. We're going to stretch our fingertips a little closer to the top of the mat, straightening the arms. Elbows are off the mat. Feel the triceps turn on. And on your next breath, we're going to walk the hands all the way off the mat onto the floor or the carpet. Getting a nice stretch on the left side. Maybe the left hand comes up off the floor and comes on top of the right hand. Try to press the chest a little deeper into the mat. Deep stretch. Good. Next breath, we're going to walk the hands all the way off the mat to the left side. Perhaps the right hand comes on top of the left. Feeling a nice deep stretch along the right side of the body. Bring the chest down. Maybe it comes down towards your left thigh, maybe towards the mat. Keep breathing. Next breath, we're going to walk our hands all the way up, back to the top of the mat. Walk the fingers forward. Try to get the chest even lower. Relax the neck. Forehead is into the mat, or your gaze is towards that mat, so you're not straining the neck. And then next breath, we're going to slide the right hand towards the body, slide the left hand towards the body, bring the knees right underneath the hips into a tabletop. And we're going to make some little movements here, pressing the fingertips into the mat, relaxing the neck, and drawing the left hip all the way to the left wall. Circling around, drawing the right hip to the right wall, continuing to make circular motions as though you're stirring a pot, just waking up the spine. And then reverse those circles. Gaze is right between the fingertips. Just to remind you that the fingertips are pressing firmly into the mat just to protect the wrists. And then next breath, we're going to tuck the toes. We're going to lift the knees, maybe hold it for just a bit. And then lift the hips all the way up towards the ceiling. Put a little bend in the knees if you like. Take your gaze to the back wall. Check the fingertips. Make sure they are pressed firmly into the mat. And then bend the right leg, straighten the left. Straighten the right leg, bend the left leg. Just pedaling out, working those calf muscles. Good. Next breath, look up between your hands, and we're going to walk the feet to the top of the mat. And we're just going to turn this into a rag doll. I'm going to face the camera. Just let the arms hang. Put a little bend in the knees with the intention of your chest coming towards the thighs. Relax the head. Perhaps you even take the arms, intertwine them, and rock side to side here. Good. Next breath, we're going to just release those hands, slowly come up. Take some sun salutations. We're going to sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, squeeze the belly button in towards the spine, lift the toes. Try to keep the arms as straight as you can so the arms are squeezing in towards the ears. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Everything is turned on. Good. This turns on the metabolism. We're starting already to burn our calories, even though our heart rate isn't yet up. We're going to take the right hand, grab the left wrist, take a nice deep stretch to the right side. Feel that stretch once again, like we did in child's pose earlier. Then we're going to reach back up, straighten the arms, reach towards the ceiling, almost as if there's an imaginary pole going across the ceiling. Try to grab hold of it. Good. Shoulders are up towards the ears. Next breath, we're going to take the right hand. We're going to take the left hand, sorry. Left hand, grab the right wrist. Reach all the way to the left side. Maybe you even open the chest up towards the ceiling. Intense stretch. Next breath, reach up towards the ceiling. Toes are still lifted. Belly button is pressing in towards the spine. Reach, 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 reach. Good. Then we're going to relax just a little bit. Lighten the arms just a little bit and sway side to side. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Good. I'm going to turn back to the side. Reaching up nice and tall, we're going to take a fold. We're at the top of our mat, taking a fold, letting our gaze just land right between our hands. Next breath, inhale, halfway lift, flat back. So flat, no rounded spine here, just a nice flat back. Exhale, we're going to take a fold. Inhale, we're going to sweep the arms right back up towards the ceiling. Lift, try to reach for that imaginary pole up at the top of the ceiling. Lift all 10 toes. Good. Exhale, take a fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Now we're going to turn it on. On our next breath, we're going to press down, come into a plank pose. This is called a vinyasa. We're going to do a few of these today. If vinyasas aren't for you, you can always go straight to a down dog. So we're lowering the hips. We're going to rock forward so that the shoulders are right over the wrist. Squeeze the elbows in towards the ribs. Come on down. Onto the belly, flatten the feet. Next breath, we're going to straighten the arms for an up dog. Everything is off the mat. If up dog is not for you, take it to a Sphinx pose. Come onto your elbows. I'm going to demo up dog. And then on your next breath, we're going to take it to a down dog. This might be where you choose to go instead of doing the vinyasas when you hear me say vinyasa. Let's go ahead and pedal out the feet here. Heart rate slowly is coming up. Hearing your breath. And then we're going to come up onto the tippy toes. Press the hips towards that back wall. Feel that nice stretch up and down both legs. Slowly lower the heels back to the mat. On your next breath, let's go ahead and raise the right leg. Reach it up nice and high. Maybe you rotate the ankle while it's here. This is three-legged dog. Let's go ahead and bend the knee, open the hip, and move the knee towards the ceiling. Make little circles into the ceiling. And then reverse those circles the opposite direction. Good. Next breath, we're going to straighten the hip. Knee is still bent, and we're going to take that knee and touch the right elbow. Next breath, we're going to touch the left elbow. A little bit of ab work here. Then the right elbow. Next breath, take it back to a three-legged dog. Maybe you rotate the ankle here. Good. Next breath, we're going to take warrior one, right side. Just come right to it. Warrior one, right side. Back foot is planted. It's at about 11 o'clock. Gaze is towards the front wall. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Squeeze the belly button in. And if you have that block at the top of your mat, we have the option to use it during this part of our warrior series. So reaching up nice, reach the hands up towards the ceiling, spread the fingers nice and wide. Next breath, we're going to draw the hands down and we're going to go into warrior three, a bit like an airplane. This is where we incorporate our balance. So just reach towards that front wall. Maybe you flex the back foot, a little better for balance. We're going to hold this, breathing in, exhaling out, good. Next breath, the hand goes to the block that we have set up on the right side. If you don't have a block, you can place it on the mat itself, depending on your balance. We're going to open up the chest towards the side wall. Turn this into a half moon. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Great balance. Good job. Holding this, great. Next breath, we're going to take this to warrior two. So we're going to actually just slowly come into it. Boom, right down into warrior two. Great work. Take your gaze right in between your fingers, shoulders stacked over the hips, holding this. Next breath, we're going to take a side angle. Maybe you even stare at that left thumb. Little added balance there. Try not to dump the right hand or right arm into the leg. And then next breath, we're going to take it to extended side angle, reaching for that front wall. Perhaps you take both hands. Maybe you even turn to the side, almost holding an imaginary beach ball. Let's stay here. Let's count it out. Still breathe while I'm counting. Stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to rotate at the waist, and we're going to take a vinyasa or go to down dog. So plank, squeezing the elbows into the ribs, up dog or Sphinx, and meet up in down dog. Now down dog is a resting pose. We usually stay here for about 3 breaths. Maybe you bend the knees. Maybe you come up on your tippy toes and work the hips back towards that back wall. Good. And we're going to do that exact same thing on the other side. So while you're in down dog, take your block and just slide it right over to the other side. I'm going to actually turn this way so you can see me better. So on your next breath, let's go ahead and raise the left leg. Maybe you rotate that ankle while you're at it. Breathing in, exhaling out. Feeling the energy you're creating. Next breath, we're going to bend the knee, open the hip. Think about that knee touching the ceiling and just make some tiny little circles, rotating that hip. And then make sure that you rotate those circles the other direction. Make sure you can still hear your breath, breathing in the back of your throat. Next breath, we're going to rotate the hip back, square the hip, and draw that knee towards the left elbow. Hold it there. Think about your abs. And then exhale, draw that knee to the right elbow. Good. Next breath, left elbow. And then we're going to send that foot back up, three-legged dog. Holding it. Maybe you rotate the ankle here, press the fingertips into the mat to protect the wrists. And then next breath, we're going to take it to warrior one. Left side. Maybe you squeeze those fingers apart. Back foot is planted at about 3 o'clock. Holding this, reaching for the ceiling. Next breath, we're going to draw the hands down. We're going to take that warrior three. So we're going to just come right into it. Gazing at the floor here, hearing your breath. Then next breath, we're going to take our half moon, holding onto our block if we have that block available. If not, try touching the floor, holding this. Good. This is a challenging sequence. And the next breath, we're going to come right back into warrior two. Take your gaze right in between your fingers. Square the shoulders right over the hips. Good. The next breath, we're going to take a side angle. Reach for the ceiling. Try to see your right thumb. Maybe while you're here, you rotate the wrists a little bit. Good opportunity for that. Next breath, we're going to take an extended side angle. Right arm is going to go towards that front wall. Maybe the left arm comes out too. Maybe you open up through the chest and hold that beach ball. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rotate at the waist, press down, and you have another opportunity for a vinyasa. And I am going to turn the way just to keep consistency. So we are in our down dog position. On our next breath, we're going to come down into a tabletop. Now we're going to be in tabletop for a little bit. So if you want to take a blanket just to protect your knees, or if you want to fold your mat, this is a good time to do it. So coming down into our tabletop, we're going to move the body just a little bit, just like we did earlier. We're going to bring the hip, the left hip, all the way to the left wall. Make that circular motion, stirring that pot, slowing the heart rate down just a little bit. Breathing in, exhaling out. Good. Next breath, we're going to stretch back the right foot. Tuck the toe into the mat. So the toe is touching the mat. Draw the heel towards the floor, towards the mat. Feel that stretch in the calf muscle. At the same time, we're going to heel toe the left foot off the mat. All of our weight's going to want to come into our right, or into our left palm. My back is going to be to you. And then you're just going to reach the right hand up towards the ceiling. Nice thing about that is it is an opportunity to rotate the wrists. So spread the fingers nice and wide on the right side, make a fist, and then rotate your wrist. Good. Now, if you're feeling very adventurous and you want a little bit more, you can raise the outside leg, the right leg, and maybe you rotate the ankle here as well. If you do this, you might feel a little stretch on the right side of the hip. Next breath, we're going to slowly come back to our down dog. Once we're in down dog, let's take a cat-cow. Breathing in for cow. Exhale for cat. Draw the chin to the chest, arch the back. Good. Inhale for cow, belly button towards the mat. And then exhale for cat. Let's do one more. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Nice work. Next breath, we're going to set up the other side. Let's stretch back that left foot. Tuck the toe into the mat. Draw the heel in towards the floor. Oh, feel that nice stretch in the calf muscle. Next breath, we're going to heel toe the foot on the right side, noticing when we do that, that all of our weight wants to come into the left palm. Then we're going to open up the chest, slide that left hand up towards the ceiling, spread the fingers nice and wide. Let's rotate the wrist, make a ball, make a fist, rotate that wrist. You can stay right here, perfectly fine. If you want a little bit more, lift that left leg, maybe point the toes towards the wall in front of you and just rotate that ankle. You will feel a bit of a tension, a bit of a stretch in the side hip on the left side if you do take it to this level. Good. On your next breath, we're going to come right back to a tabletop, and we're going to sink the hips back into a child's pose. Walk the fingers towards the top of the mat. Press the forehead into the mat. Take a deep breath in. Deep exhale out. Feels so good. Deep breath in. Deep exhale out. Let's do one more. Deep breath in. Deep exhale out. And the next breath, we're going to come back up to our table. Do a little more balance. We've already gotten some balance in right away. We're going to continue with that on our mat. Next breath, we're going to reach out our right hand. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Reach back the left foot. Now you can stay right here. This is great balance. You're working your core. If you want a little bit more, reach back behind, grab that foot, the left foot, lift it up towards the ceiling, creating almost a diamond with your body. Gaze to the floor. And while I count, make sure you're breathing. We're going to hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next breath. Only the hand is going to change. Right hand's going to come over your heart, maybe to your left shoulder. We're going to flatten the left foot. We're going to lift the foot up towards the ceiling. Right now we're working our glutes. So good. Gaze to the floor. We're going to do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next breath, we're going to reach out with the right hand, spread the fingers, reach back with the left foot, and we're going to lift. Deeper glutes, hamstring work, ab work. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then come back to your tabletop. Let's make some deep hip circles. Let's just reach our hips back towards our heels. Make some circular motions with our breath. If we've lost our breath, try to reconnect it. Breathing in as though you're surprised to see somebody. Exhaling as though you're fogging up a hand mirror. After about the 3rd time around, reverse those circles the other direction. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Good. Meeting back up in our tabletop, we're going to do the other side. So when you're ready, we're going to reach out the left hand, spread the fingers as wide as you can. Reach back the right foot, toes to the floor. Staying here is perfectly fine. If you want a little bit more, reach back behind, grab that foot, lift it up towards the ceiling, create that diamond, stare at the floor, gaze, hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only the hand comes to the shoulder or to the heart. We're going to flatten the foot. We're going to work our glutes. Lift the foot up towards the ceiling. Gaze to the floor. Lift it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great work. On your next breath, we're going to take it to the next step and bring that left hand out. Straighten that leg. Reach, reach, reach. And then we're going to lift, working the hamstrings, working the glutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then come back to your tabletop. Let's take another child's pose. Just sink the hips back towards the heels. Maybe you walk the fingers forward, straightening the arms. Maybe you come down onto the elbows. We're really reconnecting the breath here. Breathing in, exhaling out. Maybe if your forehead is pressed against the mat, you move it slightly side to side, starting to come down into a little slower pace. Breathing in, exhaling out. Good. On your next breath, we're going to come back up to a tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, coming back into a down dog. Go ahead and bend the knees here. If you do have, I should have said this, if you do have your blanket, just make sure you remove it. If you have your mat folded, just take the time to get it back into its regular position. So coming into our down dog, pressing the fingertips into the mat. Gazing at that back wall, we're going to look to the top of our mat. You can bring the feet together, or you can just keep the feet where they are and walk to your hands. I'm going to demo hopping. So bringing the feet a little closer together, putting a bend in the knees, pressing the hips towards the back wall, almost like a little slingshot. Hop forward to the top of your mat or walk to the top of your mat. And once again, we're in that forward fold position, and we're going to turn this into a rag doll. We're just going to let the body relax. Let the head relax. Something that's really nice to do here is to bend the knees, clasp the hands, bring them to the back of the skull, press the palms into the skull. Maybe you even take your thumbs and press the thumbs into the back of the neck, giving yourself a little massage. Such a nice position. Next breath, we're going to release that and slowly, 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 I'm going to face this way, slowly, slowly begin to rise up. The head is the very last thing to come up because you don't want to get dizzy. So we're at the top of our mat. We're going to bring our feet about hip distance. And then we're going to sweep our arms up into a mountain pose. Straight arms, spread the fingers as wide as you can. Let's turn this on. Let's work the metabolism, burn some more calories. Spread the fingers as wide as you can. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the face, squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Lift the kneecaps, which will turn on the thighs. Lift all 10 toes. Squeeze the arms as tightly as you can. Maybe they even touch the ears or come close to it. Good. Next breath, we're going to take it to Tadasana. Just come right to Tadasana. Relax a little bit, and then we're going to really work it and turn it on. If you've taken my other classes, you know I'm really big on this. So good for the body. So we're going to turn it on. Nice posture. Take your shoulders, reach them up towards your ears, roll them back, opening the chest towards that front wall. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze your face. Squeeze your arms so much so that you feel the triceps, the backs of the arms. It might even feel uncomfortable. Squeeze the fingertips apart. Squeeze the belly button towards the spine. Lift the kneecaps, turning on the thighs. Lift all 10 toes. Squeezing so much that you start to shake. Body is shaking. Body is warming up. Maybe beads of sweat are forming. Even better. Burning calories from a still pose. How about that? Keep squeezing. Keep breathing. Keep working it. You've got this. Keep going. Squeeze, 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 and release. Nice work. We're going to go over to the wall now, or perhaps you stay on your mat. We're going to do a little bit of balance, a little balance flow. So when you're ready, when you're in a position where you are comfortable, either near a chair, a wall, or still on your mat, perhaps you step off the mat, we're going to take our hands, place them on our waist. We're going to rock all of our weight over to the left side so we can work the right side first. And we're just going to bend the knee. Just bring the knee up, Bring the toe up towards the body, and we're going to lift, lift, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Then we're going to straighten that front leg, toes towards the ceiling. Raise the arms, big balance going here. Squeeze the belly button in. You can lift the foot if you like. Hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Hands come back to the waist. We bend the knee. We bring the knee out, almost like a tree pose, but we don't touch the side. We don't touch the left leg at all. And we hold this and we straighten the toe and we lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Then we straighten the arms. This is the hard one. Straighten the leg, toe towards the ceiling. Maybe you lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Then we take it to an airplane. And if you have to touch down, give yourself permission to do that. Gaze at the floor, take it to airplane, gaze at a spot on the floor, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's release. And probably your left foot and left leg is feeling a little tired, the standing leg. So let's take our hands, place them on our waist, press the toe into the mat, rotate the ankle. Feel the calf muscle, get a little bit of relief, and then step onto the toes, press them back. Hopefully you can see my toes pressing them back. And then maybe you shake that foot out. Another nice thing to do is just to bend that standing leg, grab it with both hands and give that foot a little massage. Nice. And then on your next breath, just for good measure, we're going to throw in another mountain Tadasana. We won't turn it on this time. We're going to bring our feet about hip distance. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Reach towards that imaginary bar up the top of the ceiling. And exhale into Tadasana. For posture's sake, let's roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Roll them back. Open up that chest. Squeeze the belly button in. Lift the head, the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Nice posture. Then we're going to work the other side. So with your next breath, take your hands, place them on your waist, work all of your weight over to the right side. We're going to bend the left knee, straighten the toes towards the front, and we're just going to lift here. Lift, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Then we're going to straighten the arms, straighten nice and tall. Toe goes towards the ceiling, leg is extended. Maybe you move the leg. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then bring the hands back to the waist. Draw the knee out to the side, almost like a tree, but not quite. There's some space in between. And we're going to lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A challenging balance. Next breath, we're going to straighten the leg, toe towards the ceiling, lift the arms up towards the ears, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Let's take it straight to an airplane. Try to find a spot on the ground. Try to stare at that, holding your airplane. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's take care of that standing leg. So hands go to the hips, press the right toe into the mat, rotate that ankle. Good. Then maybe step onto the toes, press them back. Might feel a little pop, perfectly normal. And then maybe shake that out. If you like, bend that knee on the right side, take your hands, maybe just one hand or both. Give yourself a little foot massage, a little reward for all the work you just did. Good. Then on our next breath, we're going to come back to the top of our mat. Perhaps you're already there, but if you did go to the wall, let's come up to the top part of the mat. I'm going to stay here just to demo and so you can see and understand what we're doing easier than if I'm over here. So we're going to bring our feet about hip distance. Squeeze the belly button in. Let's lift our toes. Take the shoulders, reach them up towards the ears, roll them back, and then sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Spread the fingers nice and wide. And then we're going to exhale. Take a fold. I am going to turn this way just so you can see. And while we're here, let your head just look between your feet. Relax here. Maybe you lift the right toes, lower them. Lift the left toes, lower them. Maybe you even turn the body slowly. We're bringing the heart rate down. Maybe you put a little bend into the knees. Next breath, we're going to take a halfway lift, flat back, just as flat as you can get it. Tuck the chin a little bit. Take your gaze right to your mat. Good. Next breath, we're going to take another fold. Once again, maybe you lift the right toes, lower them. Lift the left toes, lower them. Sway gently side to side. Good. Next breath, we're going to come into a chair pose, intense pose. Cactus the arms. Sink the hips even lower. Option to stay right here if you want a little bit more. Try coming up onto the tippy toes and sink the hips even lower. You're going to feel some shaking, some quaking. We're going to hold this if you're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's take a fold. Once again, maybe you lift the left toes, then the right toes. Switch it up a little bit. Good. Maybe you sway a little bit with your body. Take your gaze towards your mat. And then next breath, we're going to take a flat back, halfway lift. Take your gaze towards your mat. And the next breath, we're going to come onto our knees. We're not going to stay here. We're back into a tabletop. For good measure, while we're here, let's take a cat-cow. We're just going to take one. Breathing in for cow, drawing the belly button towards the mat. And then inhale for cat. Good. Next breath, we're going to send the right leg back, tuck the toe. Next breath, we're going to send the left leg back, tuck the toe. We're in a plank pose. We're going to hold this plank for a little while, not for very long, but just a little while. As we do, think about what we're doing for our body. We're working our core. Super great. Best thing you can do for your core is right here. You don't need any equipment. We're toning our arms and our legs. And on your next breath, we're going to rock forward with the toes. Just rock forward so that the shoulders are right above the wrist. Squeeze in the elbows towards the ribs and slowly come down onto our belly. Keep your hands right below or right above where your shoulders are. Let's flatten the feet. Press your right ear into the mat. We're slowing down the heart rate once again. Let's bend the knees and let's swish them side to side. Windshield wipe the knees. Should feel really, really nice. Good. Then on your next breath, we're going to do a little bit of an active locus pose. We're going to take the tops of the feet, lower them down to the mat, and we're going to lift everything off the mat except for the belly button. Any kind of active locus you want to do. Maybe you swim. Maybe you do jumping jacks. Any kind of movement. So on your next breath, we're going to lift everything off the mat, and I'm going to demo swimming. Just moving my arms and legs, and we're going to do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Everything comes back down to the mat. Let's go ahead and press the left ear into the mat. And if you'd like to, you can bend the knees. Maybe instead of windshield wiping side to side, you just swirl the ankles, rotate them. Should feel really, really nice. You might feel your heart beating. Hopefully, you're hearing your breath in the back of your throat. So good, so important. And then on the next breath, we're going to lower the feet to the mat. We're going to think about where our hands are. And we're going to slide our hands forward until our elbows replace where our hands were. And this is a Sphinx pose, very beneficial. We're going to feel a little bit of a stretch in our low back. Not going to stay here very long. We're going to take our gaze right between our forearms and just hold this. If you feel like you can't stay, try to squeeze your buttocks, squeeze the backs of your legs, and then slowly release that back into the mat. Good. Next breath, we're going to take the hands, come back down, slide the hands back right above where the shoulders are. We're going to press into the mat, come back into that tabletop position. And let's take another cat-cow. Breathing in for cow. Exhale for cow. Draw the chin in towards the chest. Good. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Great work. On your next breath, we're going to tuck the toes. We're going to lift the knees, lift the hips. We're back into our down dog. Such a good pose. Hard to believe it's a resting pose. Take your gaze to the back wall. Check your fingertips. Make sure they are planted into the mat. We're going to raise the right leg. Maybe we rotate the ankle while it's there. Then we're going to bend the knee and draw the knee towards the right elbow and then drop the shin and press the left leg back. We're in a pigeon pose. If pigeon is not for you, and a lot of people don't like it, you can do it on your back. You can just roll over onto your back. I'll demo that quickly. If you are in traditional pigeon, just go ahead and come on down into it. And if you want to do a reverse pigeon, just raise your right leg, place your left ankle above the right knee, and maybe clasp your hands and draw the right leg towards your body. So lots of options. I'm going to go back to traditional pigeon. We're down into our pigeon, relaxing, hearing our breath in the back of our throat. Whichever pigeon you decided to take, stay here for another breath. Breath travels up the spine. Breath travels down the spine. And then on your next breath, we're going to come out of pigeon, even if we're on our back. And if you're a traditional pigeon, come in up into a proud pigeon. Look over your shoulder, bend the left knee, try to reach for that foot and try to pull the heel in towards the body. Now, this is going to be different for everybody. Some people will have the flexibility to touch the body. If you're not quite there, nothing wrong with that, perfectly fine. Next breath, we're all going to meet up in the same position. We're going to come to an easy pose. This is what I call the juicy part of our sequence. We're going to sit in easy pose, sit up nice and tall, squeeze the belly button to the spine, take the shoulders, lift them towards the ears, roll them back, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Now, close your eyes. We're going to cactus the right hand, spread the fingers nice and wide. Reach that hand all the way across the head, find your left ear, and then pull your right ear towards your right shoulder. This is where we hold it all. This is where we hold our tension. This is where we store the stress. Give yourself permission to let it go. With your breath, just let it escape. Good. Next breath, slide that same hand, the right hand, to the back of the skull. Take your fingers, give yourself a little massage, the back of the neck, the back of the skull, maybe the eyes are still closed, and then draw your nose into your right armpit. Squeeze the belly button in towards the spine. See the back of the mat. If your eyes are open, you might feel something along the left side of your back. Good. Then releasing this, sit up nice and tall, squeeze the belly button to the spine, lift the shoulders up towards the ears, roll them back. Let's take care of the other side. Let's cactus the left hand. Maybe your eyes are already closed. Reach all the way across, find that right ear, draw the left ear to the left shoulder. Let go of any leftover tension you may have stored in the shoulders and the neck, in the back of the skull. Good. Next breath, we're going to slide that hand down to the back of the skull. Another opportunity to give yourself a little massage. Maybe you use that bone that's in the thumb. It's a really nice tool for massage. Very nice. And then take your chin and your nose in your chin, and draw them in towards your left armpit. It's important to take the chin close to that region too, squeezing the belly button in as well, because then sometimes you can feel a sensation up and down the right side of your spine. So nice. Good. Releasing that, let's just roll the head any way you like. Maybe you make little figure eights. Maybe you look up and down. Maybe you move your neck side to side. Any way you like. Good. Next breath, we're going to turn this into, we're going to actually have to do the pigeon on the other side. Getting ahead of myself. So we're going to take our hands, make our way back into our tabletop, and do our pigeon on the other side. So we're going to flex the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips, take that reverse pigeon if this is not for you. And we're going to raise the left leg. Bend the knee, aim it for that left elbow, drop that shin, and press on back. Sitting up nice and tall, chest towards the front wall, proud pigeon, and then come on down. So many nice things to do in a slow flow sequence. Hearing your breath. Hearing it in the back of your throat. Breathing in deeply. And then completely empty the lungs through the nose. Good. Heart rate is slowing down. We're going to stay here for one more breath, either in traditional pigeon or reverse pigeon, either way. Good. Then we're going to press up. Take a proud pigeon if you're in traditional. Make your way back to the mat if you had the reverse pigeon going. Let's look over our right shoulder. Bend that knee. Grab that foot. Try to pull the ankle in towards the body. See if you're any more flexible on this side. Maybe the other side was more flexible. Sides are always so different. Holding this. And then we're going to meet up in a similar pose, but it's butterfly pose. We're going to come right to a butterfly pose, pressing the soles of our feet together, sitting up nice and tall. Noticing that there's a little diamond that we've created with our feet. Sitting up tall, grabbing the ankles, straightening the spine. Here alone, we're working on our posture. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Good. Let's send the feet a little closer to that wall in front of us. Release the ankles and cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. We're going to work the shoulders now. On your next breath, right hand's going to come down as though we are a cactus. And then with your breath, left hand comes down. Squeeze the belly button in. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, right side. Exhale, left side. Let's do one more. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Then release the hands, grab the ankles, draw the feet closer in. We're going to take the hands, place them on the knees, and just roll out the shoulders. Hear your breath. Then reverse those rolls. Good. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Good. Then bring the feet out just a little bit more. Take the hands, draw the knees together. We're going to take our hands, place them on the mat, and just spin the body around so that we can make our way onto our back. We're going to flatten the feet, take our hands by our sides, sit up nice and tall. Use this as an opportunity for our posture. Toes are towards the ceiling, and we're slowly going to work the abs as we come down as slowly as we can. Maybe we stop on the way. Slowly come down. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Once there, go ahead and bend the knees. Press the feet into the mat. Try to get the feet as close as you can to the body. Maybe you feel with your fingers to see if you can feel those heels. Good. On your next breath, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades together, clasp the hands together underneath the hips, and we're going to come into a bridge pose. So with your breath, lift up through the hip bones. Maybe you squeeze the shoulder blades even tighter. Maybe if you want a little more, you come up onto the tippy toes and reach the hips up even higher. Maybe if you want a little more, you lift the left leg and lower it. And then lift the right leg and lower it. And then slowly come down. Lots of options. Once you're down, let's go ahead and send the arms out into a T. Let's bring the knees to hover right over the hips. We're going to take a supine twist here, breathing in deeply. And then on the exhale, you can take a lion's breath if you like. Breathe out through your mouth. Good. Let the knees come to the right side. Take your gaze over your left shoulder. Now, if you want a deeper stretch, you can send the left leg out, extend it. If you want an even deeper stretch, you can twist the left leg around the right. Eagle the legs. I will tell you, that's a very intense stretch if you decide to do that. Try to keep your shoulders, both shoulders, especially the left one, glued to your mat and stay. Hear your breath. Good work. Next breath. We're going to come out of this. We're going to take a deep breath in. Deep exhale out. Let those knees fall to the left. Maybe you lion breath out. On your next breath, extend that left leg. Maybe you eagle it on this side. Try to keep your shoulders on the mat. Gaze is over the right shoulder. You're doing fantastic. Maybe you're so relaxed you can close the eyes. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Hearing that breath in the back of your throat. Good. Next breath, we're going to release this. Bring the knees to hover right over the hips. Let's take the hands, wrap them around the knees, draw the knees in towards the body. Maybe we even embrace the knees and hug them to our chest and make some little rolls into the mat. Maybe you take the hands, lots of different options here, and just bring the knees out as though you're stirring a pot. And reverse those stirs. Hearing that breath all along, whichever option you choose. Good. On your next breath, let's turn this into a happy baby. Flattening the feet, grabbing the outside edges of the feet. Maybe you grab your toes instead, the big toe, the second toe. And let's pull the feet out as wide as they will go, making it a very athletic, active baby, happy baby. Maybe you rock side to side, giving yourself a little massage into the mat. Good. Next breath, we're going to turn this into a wide V and straighten the legs, flex the feet, hold this. Maybe you rock, maybe you stay still. Hear that breath in the back of your throat. And then we're going to bring the feet together. Release the hands for just a bit. This is a waterfall pose, straight legs. We're going to point the toes towards the ceiling. Feel that stretch in your calf muscles. And then we're going to draw the toes towards the forehead. Ooh, different stretch. Do you feel that in the backs of your legs? Nice. Inhale, point the toes, straight legs. Exhale, draw the toes towards the forehead. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale. Point the toes. Exhale, draw the toes towards the forehead. Very nice. On your next breath, we're going to press the soles of the feet together, bend the knees, turn this into a butterfly that's in the air, Supta Baddha Konasana, and maybe take the hands, place them behind your head, make a little hammock, look at the feet, and press them together, just so you can see the feet. And then a little ab work here. We're slowly going to lower the feet to the mat. Knees are out towards the outer wall, slowly coming down. Slowly, 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 until the feet hit the mat. And then we're going to release our hands, take the hands, press the thighs into the mat. Just give a little light press. Thinking about the hip connectors. Next breath, we're going to come straight into Shavasana. Let's make it a wide-legged Shavasana. Maybe you bring the right foot towards the right side of the corner of the top of your mat or the bottom of your mat, and then take the left foot to the left side of your mat. Let's relax the hands, palms facing the ceiling. Squeeze the shoulder blades even tighter to get those shoulders to the mat. Press the sacrum, the low back, into the mat. Belly button working towards the spine, towards the mat. If you find your tongue is stuck to the roof of your mouth, let it drop right into the lower palate. If you find that your teeth are clenched, and maybe they have been earlier in the practice when we were working so hard, move the jawbone side to side. Soften through the face. Soften through the collarbone. Soften through the abdominal region. The hip girdle. Soften through the knees, and just allow your body to melt from the crown of your head, from the tips of your fingers, all the way to the tips of your toes. Just melt deeper into your mat, and we're going to stay here. Don't worry, I will sound the bells when it's time to come out of Shavasana. Just enjoy this. Relax. With the sound of the bells, very slowly begin to awaken the body gently. Spreading the fingers, maybe wiggling them. Spreading the toes, wiggling them. Maybe you rotate the wrists. Maybe you draw the knees into the chest and rotate the ankles one last time. Windshield right the knees side to side. Good. And on your next breath, roll to your right side. Make a little pillow with your right arm. Draw the knees into the chest as tightly as you can. Just make a little ball with the body. Stay here for a breath. And then on your next breath, make your way back into a comfortable seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, squeezing the shoulders back, rolling them up towards the ears, squeezing the belly button in towards the spine. We're going to sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, spread the fingers, Connect the hands and draw them down to heart center. Good. Press the palms together. Let's go ahead and dial the fingertips down. Look at the veins, stretching out the wrist. And then rotate the hands right back up to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for Slow Flow. I hope you feel great. You burned so many calories. You should feel good about today's practice. Namaste.